In today's video, we're going to be going through how to play the 2-3-2 zone in Ultimate Frisbee. Now, in a second, we're going to be going through a live example from the world stage in 2024. But first, I want to walk you through the theory and exactly what it looks like in theory. So when you first start playing Ultimate, you'll get exposed to one-on-one defense. You'll play match defense. But as you progress, you'll learn that there's zone defense as well. Now, what's the difference between zone defense and match? Well, when it comes to zone defense, we are primarily marking spaces instead of players. So what this looks like is typically, let's say our offense is in a horizontal setup. They have 3 handlers back and they have 4 cutters downfield. In a match scenario, we'd have 1 player for every offensive cutter. But in a zone scenario, we'll have different defenders marking different spaces. Now for the 2-3-2 zone in particular, we have 2 defenders up the front. These are our marks or our handler marks. We have 3 defenders marking the central area, the middle of the field. So this is our middle or our short deep. These are our wings. And these 2 defenders are our deeps. So in charge of protecting the deep space. So you can see in this particular zone setup, we have players marking spaces. 2 players up the front, and they're going to stay up the front. 3 players in the middle, and they're responsible for each of their own 3 spaces. And we have 2 players deep, and they're responsible for their spaces deep as well. And the idea here is because we're marking spaces, we're able to pick up or prevent any cutters that are moving into our space. So instead of just having to stay with our player, letting them create some sort of game plan, letting them come up with a way to get open because the offense has a natural advantage, now we're marking spaces instead, which means that if any time any players are moving into our space, we're able to pick them up. And if they leave our space, we can hand them over to another teammate and we can continue protecting the space that we're in charge of on the field. So that's the structure of the 2-3-2 zone. We have 2 players up the front, 3 players in the middle, 2 players deep. And now I want to walk you through an example of exactly what that looks like on the world stage. In this game, we have the bronze medal match between Australia and Great Britain in the World Ultimate Championships in 2024. So big stage, high stakes, playing for a bronze medal at Worlds, and you can see the Australian team here comes down in a 2-3-2 zone. Funnily enough, this line is composed of all my Sydney Sunder teammates, so shout out to the Sunder boys out here in the bronze medal match playing this zone. Let's hit pause and let's break down exactly how their positioning is working out here. You can see they've got 2 marks, 2 people up the front, they've got 2 wings, and they've got 1 short deep or 1 middle. Again, the players in the middle are protecting their spaces. So you can see that they're in charge of preventing any players that are in their space towards the middle of the field. And we've also got our 2 deeps, 1 off the screen, 1 at the bottom of our screen here, protecting the deep space. Coming down in this 2-3-2 zone means that the offense can't just rely on one-on-one matchups or the natural advantage to the offensive cutters when it comes to getting open. It means that they have to go to a plan B. It forces them to move the disc around, find a different angle of attack because their primary options are shut down by having defenders in these spaces. Now for this particular 2-3-2 zone, their force is forcing infield, forcing towards the middle. So the idea here is that the defenders are funneling the throwers towards our defenders in the middle of the field. So if the disc ends up on the left side of the field here, our defender, our mark, is going to force that throw back infield towards where our short deep and towards where our wings are positioned. You can see as we hit play, the yellow team, Team Australia, is able to consistently hold this structure and try and force these passes back towards the middle of the field. And the only way that Great Britain can continue resetting the disc is through these short passes around their handlers. They're not able to get any meaningful connections downfield. They're not able to get any big, immediate, risky gainers down the middle of the field. You can see if this 2-3-2 zone defense is played really well, it can be really stagnating. And in this particular point, it pushes Team Great Britain all the way back towards the back of their own end zone. Again, you can see even in this scenario, we've got the same structure. 2 marks up the front, 1 short deep or middle, 2 wings, and 2 deeps, allowing the defenders to mark the key risk spaces on the field. Now there ends up being a foul call in the back of the end zone. As play restarts, you can see just how threatening and just how stagnating this zone defense can be. The offense is forced to go for short passes. They're not able to get any large gainers downfield. They're forced to swing through the handlers, again, because our defenders are marking key spaces. And ultimately, as the disc gets swung, as they're forced to make more passes, it allows Team Australia here to get a block. Now, after some discussion around the block, the turnover stands, and this gives Australia their first chance at a break opportunity on the world stage in the world's bronze medal match. This leads to their first break, giving them an advantage early on in the game, which ultimately leads to a bronze medal in the World Ultimate Championships. So that's how to play the 2-3-2 zone in Ultimate Frisbee. Again, we have 2 defenders up the front. They're going to try and funnel and force the disc towards the middle of the field, towards where our short deep is, towards where our wings are, and we're going to have 2 players deep protecting the end zone as well. This allows the defense to prevent the options in these spaces and ultimately forces the offense to swing the disc around to get short passes instead of big gainers, which ultimately leads to more defensive pressure and chances at a block. Just like any structure when it comes to sport and Ultimate Frisbee, there's always going to be pros and cons of using this particular structure, but it's a great tool to have in your back pocket if you're looking to stagnate the offense and force them to get the disc through when your defenders are marking key spaces on the field. That's the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. And make sure you like and subscribe for more Ultimate Frisbee content just like this. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.